If I were to ask you right now, who are you? Your brain would immediately reach for the familiar labels. You'd likely recite your name, your job title, your family role, or perhaps your bank balance. But every one of those markers is subject to change. A name can be legally altered, a career can vanish overnight, and bank balances fluctuate with the market. If your identity can be edited or deleted by outside forces, it suggests that whatever you are isn't actually found in those labels. This volatility extends to your physical body. Every 7 years, the majority of your cells die and are replaced by new ones. Science suggests that not a single scrap of the body you inherited as a child exists within you today. We are essentially clinging to a biological suit that is constantly renewing itself, while trying to run societal software that changes with the wind. When we try to build a permanent sense of I on top of these shifting layers, we create a constant state of internal friction, a deep-seated suspicion that our foundation is slowly disintegrating. We often struggle because we confuse the vehicle for the operator. If you're driving a car and a tire goes flat, you don't tell your friends, "I am punctured." You recognize that a component of the machine has failed, but your physical body remains intact. Yet we don't maintain that same distance with our own lives. When the body ages or the ego is bruised, we don't see it as a change in the vehicle, we experience it as a direct threat to our existence. This fusion of our self with temporary states leads directly to the fear of death and the exhaustion of daily stress. Breaking this cycle requires a way to systematically isolate the observer from the things being observed. Thousands of years ago, in the rugged isolation of the Himalayas, seekers known as rishis began to dissect the nature of human consciousness. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, the sage Yajnavalkya was pushed to define the ultimate truth, the absolute reality behind existence. He realized that the moment you try to define the infinite with words, you've already limited it and turned it into something small. His response was neti neti, not this, not that. Instead of a new definition, he proposed a process of subtraction, stripping away everything subject to change. It's like how Michelangelo approached his statue of David. He didn't create David, he simply chipped away every piece of marble that was not David until the masterpiece was revealed. Neti neti works the same way. You don't find the truth, you uncover it by removing the lies. The process is governed by a single rule. The seer cannot be the seen. If you can observe something, you cannot be that thing. First, look at the body. Because you can perceive your physical form in a mirror, it is an object of your perception. Therefore, you are the one watching the body. Neti, I am not this body. This diagram represents daily thoughts in constant motion, while the center remains still. If you were your thoughts, you'd disappear when they end. Neti, I am not this mind. Emotions behave like bubbles, swelling, popping, vanishing. Since you remain present, Neti, I am not these feelings. When you strip everything away, the ego often feels a surge of panic. It feels as though you are falling into a void, losing your existence, because you've removed the labels identifying yourself. But clearing out a cluttered room doesn't destroy the room. It finally reveals the space that was there all along. In this practice, that space is the sakshi, the pure, pre-existing observer that remains when the drama stops. Neti neti is designed for the friction of daily life, the office, the commute, and the household. It functions as a way to maintain stability in the middle of a chaotic environment. Imagine you're insulted at work and your pulse quickens with anger. Instead of becoming the anger, you observe it. You might say, a fire of anger is burning in the mind, but I am the sky in which the fire is contained. By observing the fire, you stop being the fuel. At night, when the mind loops through old regrets or future fears, you can treat them like a movie playing in an empty theater. You are the one sitting in the seat, watching the images pass, but the movie has no power to touch the viewer. This changes the answer to our first question. You are not the biological suit or the societal software. You are the silent actor who remains unchanged regardless of what role is being performed on stage. Stepping back into not this, not that, doesn't remove you from life. It removes the fear of life. When you stop identifying with things that are destined to change, you find a sense of peace that doesn't depend on your circumstances.